Hi, this is a video for the metal portion of the handle. So, and at the beginning, I'm gonna say this is extra. You don't have to make it. This is just for if you're interested in how to make a part out of an image. So we'll close this uh, part first, and you don't need the slide anymore. And we can open this image here. So what you need is an TIF image. Let's take a preview of this file. And that is the image specifically for tracing, so you know which area you want to extrude. And a new part file, as usual. Now what we do is first step is actually create a sketch. Because you know our part is going to look like this. So your sketch will look like this, and we have one dimension, or two dimension for your part is the 5/16 diameter hole and the total length. The purpose of that is so you have a scale on your sketch. Okay? 5 divided by 16. And another one is a line, the reference. Then we need to have a distance from the line to axis, 5.909. So that is the reference to align your sketch to align the image to your sketch. Then we'll finish the sketch, then insert the image. So insert is not actually in the insert, it's in view and visualization. Here we have a raster or raster image. Now here you want to specify the TIF image and find that piece in your download folder. So in my case it's here. And there's something you can adjust. This maximum texture size, 512 is very rough. You can change it to maybe 8 megabyte or 8K. So that's the size. It'll make it a higher depth resolution for the image. Then we create the image, right? Then you can move it, or you can just say okay, and we'll move it that thing later. So once we have the image, you can double click, then you can drag and move. Okay. So what we do is you can zoom in a little bit. That's the origin. And you can move your cursor on top of that and drag. Okay, it will not have a preview. Okay, it'll just stay like this. And you can zoom in more and find the origin. Move to your origin. Okay, that is one thing. Then the size. Okay, you have to resize it. Then seems like this. The circle is still bigger. Well, that's why we need a 5-inch to adjust that. So it's still bigger. Then make it smaller. And as you can see, that's the center of the circle. That's the bottom. The bottom should touch this reference line. I'll try to make it even smaller. Okay, and then we'll adjust the position of your image, and it's getting there. So as you can see, it's very close. We'll just move a little bit, then move the origin a little bit. Okay, it depends on how accurate you want. Then so the bottom and the top matches pretty well. I'm satisfied with that. And by the way, this image will only show up in this studio rendering. Okay, if you change it to that, it will show nothing. So studio rendering, if you want to see the raster image. Then we start tracing the sketch. So this part seems like we still need is couple extrude. You need one extrude for the whole thing. Then you make another extrude to cut in the middle. Okay. Then the top is a different thickness. So you can design which way you want to extrude it. But the way I did it is I get this portion first. Let's just go back to the sketch. So let's go back to the sketch. This way you will not, we can start tracing. Then for tracing the picture, the best way is use 3-point arc. So 3-point arc. Okay, so it seems like this is a big arc. And ignore the little fillets, like that might need 3-point, but this portion just ignore that. So we'll start from the intersection of this arc to this line here. Then find the transition point from the arc to this line. So maybe here. So start and end, then we'll go to the middle. Okay. So something like this. That is first one. Then the second one, in this case, we can go a straight line. Go with a straight line here, and we're gonna jump this section, and then to this straight line. And we can probably use a fillet there. So we'll just go do these straight lines. And the trick or the experience I found when I was doing this tracing is always skip one section. Just, do one and skip one and draw another one, skip another one. So this way, when you connect them, you can use a fillet. This one, it'll be tangent on both, or a 3-point arc. You can control the intervals of the lines you just draw, and you don't have to worry about how to connect these things. So here I want to go all the way into this color. Okay, so seems like that's a big arc, and there's a transition into another arc. So we'll do a 3-point arc, and the transition is about here, and the end point or the transition between the small arc, big arc, might be here. Then get into the middle. Okay, so then we can come up and finish those teeth using fillets. So we can start from this one. Okay, then these two. So as you can see, we have something trying to snap to a tangent point. You can just hold the Alt key. This way it will not snap to something else. Yeah, we'll just drop it here. Then also from here to here, you also need to hold Alt key. Okay, and it doesn't have to be very accurate. Or we can come back and drag things around to adjust if needed. Okay, and here you can see the fillet is reversed. So what you need to do is just switch your order selecting things. So that and that, Alt key when you drop things. Okay, so it seems like this is a little bit off. You can drag this point. Okay. and that looks pretty good. Then we go to the bottom, so 3-point arc, this again an arc, and into a big arc. So the trick here again, skip this from, don't connect it right away. Just always skip one section, then into the next big arc. So there might be more than two, but I'll just try using only 2 arcs to start with. And also, when you are joining the arcs, you can adjust your arc so it matches a little better. Then between those two, you can use a fillet again. The good thing about the fillet is it's tangent on both sides, so then you don't have to worry about tangency. Do that. And also looks like that's a big circle here. Okay, so here you might need a big arc and a fillet. We'll see what happens. And we can do this arc first. So as you can see, it's actually not constant radius. Seems like this portion is a smaller arc. That portion has a bigger radius. So we'll do 3-point arc. Maybe end here or here. Okay, that's it. Then for this section, well, let's do the bigger radius first. From here to, you can sort of see how it becomes smaller and smaller. And also, there's an even faster way if you're really studio curve. So let's say studio curve. This is irrelevant to the thing I'm doing now. Studio curve, you just click the point on your image. Okay, so it'll go like this. The only thing is you have to know where you need more points. Like a smaller curvature or smaller radius, you need more points. This is larger radius, you just need less point. Now here you can have, and also between the transition, you need 2 points at least to constrain the first section of your arc, of your curve. So from here, say here you want to transition to a smaller radius. 1 point is not enough. You need another one close to the transition to constrain the curve on the left side. Then when you transit to a smaller radius, it will not jeopardize your the curve you just had. So something like this. Okay, I might need another point to constrain the left portion. Then this looks pretty smooth. Well, I guess that's faster. Okay, as you can see, this point is a little bit too much. So here, well, this curve was not meant for this sketch. That should be on another sketch though. So we'll just cancel this. Here's just a demonstration how to use the studio splines, which might be faster. Okay, then I'll keep doing this. So that's the whole process of tracing the sketch of the image, and I think I can just speed up here or stop here. Once we get all the sketch, we can come back and show you what to do with the extrude. Okay. Okay, now from here, we've just finished the one sketch. Then you can extrude this portion, and the distance. Well, the distance you can measure from the part I gave you. So there's a measurement tool, distance between the top face and the bottom face, a 1/4 inch. So it should be extruded. Region boundary curve. Okay, try to get rid of the picture. So symmetric and a 1/4, 1/8 for half. This boolean is none. Apply. So that is for the first extrude. Okay. Alright, so that's all the sketches. The last sketch is the 3 holes. And for those holes you really want to measure from the handle or the model I gave you. I think that one. So let's measure it. And diameter, what that is, this number 15625 is one of the 16th, or yeah, I think it's some 16. So we can show the information window and copy the diameter. Okay, and other two holes are 1/8. So we'll go back to this model and make a sketch on XY plane again. Yeah, let's go back to studio rendering. We can see the image. And we'll start from, we don't want to start from that. We'll start from here. And we just copy the diameter from the other part. So that is one. And the other two are 1/8. So someplace here. And the position of these holes is fine. It's not that important. The important thing is you see the reference line between them. The distance between them really matters. So if you're doing this yourself, you need to measure the distance. So when the two parts put in together in these holes, the teeth will match perfectly. Okay, and that's saying, I think this one's not that important. Anyway, so we have the holes, and you still need to position them better. And finish sketch. We'll hide the picture. Then we'll extrude the multiple sketches. The first is this portion. Okay, this portion will be also symmetric, and 3/16. Again, you can measure from the part we provided. So apply. That's first extrude. Then we'll do another symmetric extrude for this sketch to cut the middle, and that height should be 1/4 in total, so 1/8, and apply. And also the last is those 3 holes. What we do is we might be able to click that sketch. We can use infer curve, click the last sketch. Those are for the 3 holes, and it's not symmetric. Okay, so we'll be cutting into the handle, so the top is a through hole, it doesn't matter where. The bottom is, if you remember, the locking knob or the link. They have a small cylinder that's asymmetric, and that's the hole for those parts. -1/8, -1/32, and okay. So you notice I didn't do any boolean operation during the extrude. So we can go back and double click, change that to subtract from the handle. Okay, then the holes we can do a subtract from the handle as well. Then we can turn that to maybe studio so we can see the picture. That's the handle. Alright, so that's all for this part. Yeah, you can trace the shape out of an image. Okay, thank you.